Hi, this is Mato. In this video I will show you the game between Magnus Carlsen and Judit Polgar. Game was played in the London Classic tournament in 2012. Carlsen had white pieces and he started with c4, English opening. Rumor has it that Carlsen was choosing between English and London opening. Just kidding. Judit played c5, knight to f3, knight to c6, d4, symmetrical English. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes on d4, knight to f6, knight to c3, e6, and now a3. g3 is a very popular move in this position. Carlsen played a3, preventing black from playing bishop to b4. Bishop to c5 was played, attacking knight. Knight to b3. Bishop to e7. e4, making it difficult for black to play liberating d5 move. Judit castled kingside. Bishop to e2, b6. Plan is to fianchetto bishop to b7. Castling kingside, bishop to b7, bishop to f4. If something like a6 is played, then white can play bishop to d6. So d6 was played. Rook to c1, rook to c8, rook to e1, knight to e5, and white has a chance to take the knight and double the pawns. Is that a good idea? Not really. If bishop takes knight, pawn takes bishop, and black is okay. Black has a bishop pair. For example, the game may continue like this. Knight to d2, queen to c7, queen to c2, rook from f to d8, and black is okay. Carlsen played knight to d2, knight from f to d7, bishop to e3. What is the purpose of this move? White is preparing f4. Queen to c7, and now not rushing with f4 but b4, stopping knight from jumping to c5. Queen to b8, f4 attacking knight, knight to g6, g3, that is preventing knight from jumping to h4. Rook from f to e8, bishop to f3, defending pawn on e4, fighting for d5 square, and clearing the file for the rook. Queen to a8, applying pressure on e4 pawn. Ideally black would love to play d5, but this is not working at the moment. Bishop to f2, knight from g to f8, queen to e2, and let's have a good look at this position. Who is better, white or black? White position is preferred. White has more space on the board. Queen to b8, rook from e to d1, g6. This may not be the strongest move on the board, creating dark square weaknesses around her king. And now e5. Magnus is opening up the game. This is also making room for knight to jump to e4. Bishop to c6. bishop to d4, rook from e to d8, bishop takes bishop, rook takes bishop, knight to f3, pawn takes pawn. How to capture? With bishop, with knight, or with pawn. Carlsen captured with pawn, so black pieces can't jump to f6 square. Rook from d to c8, attacking pawn on c4, knight to e4, pawn is defended twice, queen to c7, pawn is attacked 3 times, knight from f to d2, and now black has a chance to win the pawn on e5. Is that a good idea? Have a good look. Would you capture pawn on e5 with knight? If knight takes on e5, white would not capture knight. There is b5. And where is the rook going? b5 is winning the exchange. So Judit played a6 first. Now knight to f2. Pawn is defended twice. Bishop to g5. Have a good look. If bishop takes the knight, then black is winning the pawn on c4, or maybe pawn on e5. Is white in trouble? If you wish, you can pause this video and you can try to find the best move for white, but please note, this is not a killer move, but a good move. Ready? Rook to f1 was played. Rook is lined up with pawn on f7. Also, black is going to win the pawn, but there is going to be a problem on dark squares around black king. Bishop takes knight, queen takes bishop, and black has a choice, winning pawn on e5 or pawn on c4. In the game, knight takes on e5 was played. Let's check rook takes on c4. Then rook takes, queen takes, and now this is very strong. Knight to g4. Knight is coming to h6. And then rook will be taking pawn on f7. A problem. So in the game, Judit captured with knight on e5. Bishop takes knight. Queen takes bishop. Knight to g4 attacking queen. And if queen moves, say if queen goes to d6, then knight to h6, check. If king goes to h8, what happens then? There is a fork. Check, winning queen. So then it means king to g7 would be played. But then rook takes on f7, check. Problem again. So in this position, Judit found rook to d6, attacking white queen. Knight to h6, check. King to g7. Rook takes pawn on f7, check. King to h8. Queen to f2, threat is rook takes knight. Queen to d4, pinning queen. c5, attacking rook. Pawn takes pawn. Queen takes queen. If pawn takes queen, rook takes rook. So Judit captured with rook on d4. Rook takes pawn on c5. Should black take the rook or move rook away? Judit played rook from c to d8. If rook takes on c5, pawn takes rook. If then, for example, rook to c4, then rook takes knight, check, king to g7, forking rook and knight, but there is in between move. If rook takes rook, then pawn takes rook, king takes, and c pawn is marching. But there is check, which can be blocked. And then after rook takes on c5, knight to g4 or knight to f7. White is a piece up. So in the game, rook from c to d8 was played. Rook from c to c7. Given time, white would play rook to g7 and then rook to g8, checkmate. Rook to d1, check. King to g2. Rook from 1 to d2, check. King to h3. Rook from 2 to d5, threat is check, winning knight. Knight to g4, and the knight says, I'll be back. Rook to h5, check. King to g2. Check. King to f3. Check. Not taking. King to e3. Rook takes rook. Rook takes rook, attacking knight. Rook on d2 is under attack. Rook to d8, defending the knight. Knight to f6. Black knight on f8 can't move. But even if it could, it wouldn't be a very good idea, because rook takes pawn on h7 is checkmate. Rook to b8. Black has no useful moves. King to f4. Threat is king to g5, king to h6, rook to g7, rook to g8, checkmate. h6. King to e5. a5. Pawn takes pawn. Rook to a8. a6. And black resigned. If rook takes pawn, then rook takes knight, winning a piece. So what then black can play? Maybe rook to d8, but then a7, after say rook to a8, rook to b7, and after rook to c8, rook to b8. That's why in this position Judit resigned. Magnus Carlsen won this game, but he also won the 4th London Classic tournament. His rating is currently 2,861. That is an all-time record, and has surpassed Garry Kasparov's record, which stood for 13 years. That is very impressive, isn't it? And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.